Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Soul State Inc. My name is Beth, and I am wearing a flower crown because Shannon Riddler tagged me in the spring reading tag. And what's more spring than a fairy flower crown? I don't know. That's why I'm wearing it. All right, let's get into the questions, shall we? I've got them on my phone, but I will leave the link down below to Shannon's video and also to Amy Jane Smith's video. She did the original. So the first question is, what books are you most excited to read over the next few months? I have a huge TBR for May, and I am super excited to read all of those. I am also very excited within this next week to read Legend, Vampire Academy, Book One, finish reading The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer, and get to the other couple of library books that I have that are out of the YA section, hopefully before middle grade May reads, because if I don't get them done now, I'm going to send them back until after May so I can really focus on Toil and Trouble-a-thon and middle grade May reads. But I will link my announcement video from yesterday up there, wherever it shows up. I will link that for you guys. So if you want to check out what books I'll be reading in May and find out more about both of those readathons, go ahead and click over on that video and check it out. All right. The next question is, what book most things makes you think of spring for whatever reason? And that book is, hold on. Aren't those lovely curtains? Anne of Green Gables. This is my 3 volumes in one that has Anne of Green Gables, Anne of Avonlea, and Anne's House of Dreams. But Anne always makes me think of spring. It is um, spring in a lot of my favorite scenes from Anne of Green Gables. And one of my favorite scenes, which led me to my favorite poem and poet of all time, happens in the springtime. So, Anne of Green Gables is definitely a book that makes me think of spring. Question number 3. The days are getting longer. What is the longest book you've read? Cover to cover, probably one of the Game of Thrones books. I've read a few books that are over 1,000 pages, but I'm guessing one of the George R. R. Martin books. Um, However, I do have a copy of the complete works of Shakespeare that is a one of those huge hardback, like 2,000 page things. I have not read it cover to cover because I chose to read several of the plays outside of that sucker, but that's probably the biggest book I have. What books would you recommend to brighten someone's day? It depends on what they like. I really love reading middle grade books, and there are some like Winnie the Pooh children's books. They brighten my day every time. But I also really enjoy reading The Babysitter's Club. One of the things that really brightens my day is not even a happy book. I love to reread. Um, what is her name? Oh my goodness. No. Oh, Louisa May Alcott, who wrote Little Women. I love to read Little Women, but I also love to read A Long and Fatal Love Chase, and it brightens my mood, even though it's a really like frightening demon love story kind of book. So I think I would have to know the person and kind of know their tastes and what they're going through to be able to suggest something to brighten their day. But yeah. All right, moving on. Number 5, spring brings new life in nature. Think of a book that doesn't exist but you wish it did. I'm actually writing a book right now that doesn't exist but I wish it did, and that's why I'm writing it. There are a couple of them that I'm working on, but The Way We Were is about a group of friends who were trying to stop an apocalypse. So it's not like that has never been written, but it's never been written, or at least I've never seen it written the way I'm writing it. And then I have a couple of children's adventure stories that are different from anything I've seen in other children's chapter books. So, yeah, I'm not going to tell you too much about them because that's what Manuscript Mondays are for. Number 6, spring is also a time of growth. How has your reading changed over the years? When I was younger, I actually read a lot more adult books and a lot more YA books, and actually really enjoyed contemporary. And now that I'm 32, I read a lot more middle grade and children's chapter books. I do read new adult now, which is something I didn't read a whole lot before, but my tastes have changed, and I really like the way middle grade books are written. And I feel like adult books get away with not being written as well because they're adult, and you don't have to hide things in them as much as you do when you have to write children's and middle grade stories. That's just me, and as a writer of all the different genres, I feel like I can get away with a lot more if I'm writing a new adult or adult story than if I'm writing a children's or middle grade book. So that's just, it's what I see in what I'm writing, and I kind of put it off on other people. But it's a lot more difficult to weave things together when you have to be more careful about what you say and how people are acting. Um, Number 7, we're a couple of months into the new year. How's your reading going? Well, let me just pull up Goodreads real quick. It's going really well, actually. I read a whole lot of books. My Goodreads challenge will tell you that I have read um, a lot more than what I personally have read, not because I haven't read them, but because they're children's books that I have been reading with my daughter. And I've been putting all of her books, not all of her books, but most of her books on Goodreads as well. So it says I've read 111 books so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. In the last month, I've read, looks like, ooh, 9, 10. Okay, I did better this month than I thought I did. 11, 12, 13. Okay, looks like I've read 13 or 14 books that were my books from like this time in March to this time in April, and 20 something books altogether because of my daughter's books. So that we're at the end of April, and I've read 111 books, including uh, more than 111 books. But you know, I'm rambling a whole lot. Basically, my reading is going really well, and I have read across genres from uh, age levels to children's books all the way through adult novels. And I have read across genres from contemporary to high fantasy, regular fantasy, magical realism, historical, memoir, nonfiction, etc. So I feel really proud of what I've been doing this year. And number 8, any plans you're looking forward to over the next few months? Um, yes. The end of school is in the middle of May, and I know I'm not actually teaching right now, but I'm really looking forward to, substituting for the rest of the year and seeing my kids kind of move on to high school and getting to do the end of year concerts and all of that. I'm also really looking forward to, at the end of this week, is our community band concert, which I love participating in, and I'm actually really excited that I was able to come back in time to do that this year. I'm also looking forward to hopefully finding a job, whether it's in teaching or not. I have no idea, but hopefully in teaching, finishing out Camp NaNoWriMo, and spending the summer hanging out with my kid and just reading and writing and having a grand old time. So that is all 8 questions of the spring reading tag. I'm not going to tag anybody because I don't know who has done it and who has not done it. But if you want to do it, please feel free to say that I tagged you and let me know that you're posting a video. I will see you guys again soon. Read something great, write something even better. Bye.